You got paid, and for like 2 days, it felt amazing. Then you checked your account again, and something didn't add up. The number was already lower. You hadn't even done anything crazy, just lived. A few meals, some transport, maybe one thing you told yourself you deserved, and now you're sitting there thinking, where did it go? That feeling. That's not bad luck. That's a system working exactly as it was designed to, just not in your favor. Hi, my name is Hughie, and I used to think earning more would fix everything. Until I realized the problem starts with your very first paycheck. If that feeling hits a little too close, you might want to subscribe. Here's the thing nobody tells you about your first salary. It doesn't just pay your bills. It sets a pattern, a default, a lifestyle baseline that's almost impossible to reset later. Most people think income is the problem. They think, I just need to earn more, and then everything will be fine. But here's what actually happens. You earn more, and somehow you spend more. The expenses just quietly expand to fill whatever space is available. It's not a character flaw. It's called lifestyle inflation, and it hits almost everyone. There's actually a concept in behavioral economics around this. The more you earn, the more normal shifts upward. Your baseline resets. What felt like luxury last year feels like necessity this year, and you never quite feel ahead. Now here's a rule that almost nobody follows, but the people who do, they tend to build wealth quietly without anyone noticing. Never let your actual salary be the number you live by. Whatever you earn in your head and in your spending habits, treat 30 to 40% of it like it doesn't exist. Not because you're hiding it, but because the moment your brain accepts a number as your salary, your lifestyle builds itself around that number every single time. If you make $3,000 a month and you live like you make $1,800, that gap is where your future gets built. That's not restriction. That's the actual move. I know a lot of you watching this might not be earning that much yet. Maybe you just started. Maybe this is literally your first paycheck. That makes this the most important moment, not later. Let's talk about the trap that gets almost every young person. The car, the upgrade, the I deserve this purchase. And look, I'm not saying don't spend money on yourself. You should. You work hard. A small treat, something that genuinely makes you happy, that's not the problem. The problem is the big fixed commitments. A car, especially early, isn't just a car payment. It's insurance, it's fuel, it's maintenance that always shows up at the worst time. It's a monthly drain that locks you in before you've even figured out what your actual life looks like. If you're young, no kids, no real dependency, that money has better places to go. Not because cars are bad, but because the timing matters enormously. The people who bought the car at 22 and the people who invested that same amount at 22, by 30, they're living completely different lives. And the difference isn't talent or luck. It's just one decision made early. Here's the uncomfortable version of the two paths. You spend your 20s freely. Every raise gets absorbed. Every bonus gets celebrated and then gone. Life feels good. Nothing feels urgent until one day it does. Or, and this is the harder path, you spend a few years being intentional. Not miserable, not deprived, just deliberate. And then somewhere in your late 20s or early 30s, money starts working for you instead of the other way around. There's no middle version where you do neither and still come out fine. That's the part people don't want to hear. If you're in your teens and already working, I genuinely mean this. That's rare. Don't underestimate it. Most people your age are waiting for the right time to start. You've already started. That's the actual advantage. Not skill, not connections, just time. And the markets Talent rewards time more than almost anything else. Start investing, even small, even inconsistent. The habit matters more than the amount right now, because money sitting in a bank account is slowly losing value to inflation, around 3 to 4% a year in real terms. Doing nothing is not neutral. It's quietly falling behind. The money you would have spent on something you forgot about in a month, put it somewhere that compounds. Let it grow while you sleep. And then, once it's actually working, do whatever you want with the returns. That's not restriction, that's sequencing. The real lesson nobody teaches you formally, not in school, not usually at home, is this. Your relationship with money in your first earning years is the relationship you carry forward. The habits, the reflexes, the emotional response when you see a number in your account. Most people learn this lesson in their 40s, looking back at 20 years of patterns they wish they could reset. You're watching this now, which means you still have the version of this lesson that's actually useful, the early one. So here's the question I want to leave you with. If your salary stayed exactly the same for the next 5 years, would you be okay? Would anything be building, or would you just be surviving? Reset to zero every month, waiting for a raise to fix something a raise has never fixed for anyone. That discomfort you're feeling right now, pay attention to it. If you want to actually understand how money works, not the textbook version, but the real version, in 2026, with the economy we actually live in, this channel is for you. Subscribe. The next video covers whether you should even be working a job right now, or what to do if you are. See you there. This is Hughie Capital.